Wait, is my mama in the chat room too? Hi, my love. Hi, Zippy the Pinhead. It's so good
Stephen
to see
King,
you.
my monocle is my business. None of your goddamn business. My monocle, you understand? Daryl, what's going on?
live.
Tori. And hello! How are you all? First of all, shameless plug for a friend of the family. Got myself a tight new shirt on. Also, my mom still does not understand that I'm a tiny human being.
It is not a terribly tight shirt, actually, but
it's been
beautiful.
a lot of years. I'm very small.
Do you want to? Yeah, you got to show the back. It's beautiful. This is Anchor in Marina in Sheboygan, Michigan. This is his second sister, or one of his sisters. You guys know second mom, Jackie Baltzer.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Michael Grace,
Sandy Baltzer. One of his bonus siblings is Jackie Baltzer Ross, who has a marina and a livery and stables in Sheboygan. So.
It's a little wild when people that you once babysat for are like open up businesses. You know, they're like, she's over there doing her money dance, whatever money dance you do in a boat. I don't know.
Like,
I have a money dance, but I'm not going to do it now.
No, you're definitely not.
I have my own money dance.
I would like to say that my mom literally said, hello, A, I love you. And my mom is, as you guys all know, you've been on this whole journey with us. My mom has had some health challenges in the last couple of years, as have we all. But she was dealing with other health challenges before the pandemic. And she and my stepdad are some of my favorite people on earth. They have weathered that storm so well,
Chris
and my
Casey,
mom is now
should be ashamed
all
of
up
yourself
in
at that
her
point.
own
Ashamed of
business.
yourself.
She's doing all the things she needs to do to get better and stronger and faster. And I can't believe
You're making her sound like Steve Austin now.
Yeah,
You can remake
she's
her.
a
Better.
fucking rock star.
Faster, stronger.
She's a
Anybody remembers Bionic Man, the original? Like,
Not gonna lie, we've had a very big week. We're gonna talk about it in a minute.
It's been a big week. There's a lot of, because
Jenna, you're the sweetest. Thank you.
My ego was so fragile and tiny before. It was so small.
Spike.
It was so anemic, so in need of some support to puff it up, like a breakfast pastry, if you will, to puff it up. And we got a little bit of that. We're going to talk about that. Baby, let's go over what's coming up in the show. We're going to talk about the CRYPT book deal. It's going to be super fun. We've got some junkie picks. We've got some pup dates. We've got this week in No, we don't have this week, so let's scratch it out. If we have time, we have questions. Honey, what is that you're eating right there?
It's a tiny bowl of pistachio nuts.
Pistachios.
I have ones downstairs that you have to crack, but I feel like that is a bridge too far for a thing you have to listen to us do. You already have to listen to us eat on camera. Dad gummit.
Zip says, thank you. I tried the Bionic Woman. I hope you get a big puff up. Shoot. Wait. Here we go. This is how the Bionic Man eats a pistachio. Are you ready? Steve, these pistachios will destroy the world if they're not eaten first. I'm on it.
Terry Davis, Chris Casey, both of you, so nice to see you. Nico Devious, so nice to see you too. I now know that my brother is friends with many, many other junkies in the chat room too.
He's a friendly guy.
So here's the thing.
Right.
We had a very big week in the interim between the last SIGLERinPLACE. We're going to talk about it.
Let's do that one.
Yeah.
Boom. What do you think about that?
So as you guys know, Steve Rickyberg does a very, very long happy hour on the first Saturday of every month. And he does it from 4 p.m. Pacific time to 11 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes it runs longer. It never starts early, I don't think. I love it. I went the last time and made everybody watch me take down my Christmas tree, which I didn't mean to, but that's what I had to do that day, so it was super fun. If you want to join, you can go ahead and do that. But you can come and go as you please. So if you want to join a little bit in the beginning and then you have to go make dinner or make another drink or whatever and come back a little later, it's really fun.
Yep.
Scott very rarely joins. He might wave in there, but I'm there almost every time. And a lot of your other junkies are too, so come out and join us.
All right. Ooh, Monty in the house. What's up? Ooh. All right, so there is that. And now, okay, guys.
I'm a little sick,
This is not a regular feature. I don't just grab any old tweet. that you guys might tweet about me. It's not just, oh my gosh, they just need to see my name in Tweetland. It has to be something fun and special. And this one, I'm not happy about this at all, but it's a very well-deserved tweet. I tweeted earlier this week that with Athon Books, which we will talk about in a moment, with Athon Books, we had landed a book deal for the CRYPT print ebook, hopefully audiobook. We're still working on that. But, and then, of course, the old school junkies were pretty pumped. And then I had to deal with this tweet. So this is a response to my tweet.
It's a perfect one.
To my tweet about the CRYPT. And then a response to the person's own tweet about the CRYPT. Hey, Weichel, about goddamn time. Sigler, next one. I was a goddamn different gender the first time this book came out. It's been that long. I don't need that sass.
Look,
I don't need that sass. Do you understand me?
Faye is one of our favorite people and has been for literally a decade or more. And not only that, a lot of you too. And you know that they are in it to win it for the CRYPT. They are in it to win it for the CRYPT.
That's not a slam that many people can throw out.
And not only that.
You need timing. You need a lot of life changes. You need a certain amount of wit. There's only the Venn diagram is this big, and there you go. I was a goddamn different gender when this first came out. It's been that long.
Not even going to lie to you guys. Scott has known Faye for an enormously long time. I met Faye in 2008 at Balticon and have loved them and their spouse and now their new dog for ages. It's also a beautiful thing that we all get to enjoy the CRYPT how we are meant to, including them.
Yep.
They had to say
they
that.
got it covered up. Okay,
I love it.
We're going to get to the script stuff in a second. First of all, let's take care of some bookkeeping. Coming up in the second Saturday of February, is it? Yeah. Second Saturday of February. There's a movie coming out called Studio 666 with Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, and it looks like a funny horror comedy. I love horror comedies, so since it involves the world of rock, Rob Otto, A Real Girl, herself, and I will be doing a story smack on one of the greatest rock comedies of all time, the exceptional, enduring, immortal Spinal Tap. Trust me, you guys, when Rob Otto drops the deets on the history of this movie, there's going to be a bunch of stuff you don't know. Come hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. It's quite scary. We have armadillos in our trousers, actually. The size is rather frightening. All right, go back to Maine.
Okay, so Sean brought up a good point.
Yep.
He says if Faye was ever named in a earlier version of something, Tuckerized, we have to figure that out. We've not thought about that. And you'll find out later in this episode that now it sort of matters.
Well, yeah, but it's, we'll talk about that later. We could change for the upcoming print, but, you know, when you are when a character is named after you as a fan, which now is limited only to those who get a tattoo of Siglerism, and then it's still a lottery. Sorry. Once the character goes to the page or goes to the audiobook, that's it. There's no, because it's not really you anymore. It's basically your name, and then I come up with a character around it. So it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to us. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a very interesting question.
It's an interesting thing to think about, too, for sure.
Let's get into the book game, sister. We got a lot to cover. Not only do we have awesome news about the CRYPT, but ladies and gentlemen, we just posted the story audio only for the Story Smack episode 78 with Scream with the world famous screenwriter Rob Otto, who brought all kinds of information. He will be the one joining us for the Story Smack on Spinal Tap. And then we got Stone Wolves episode 18, 17. We got the Matrix Stones. We got all kinds of stuff going on ScottSigler.com, which is soon to go over and undergo a major overhaul, like an action actor in his mid-40s who gets a facelift. It's like that dramatic, but it goes wrong. It's a wrong facelift, and he doesn't do karate moves anymore because his face might fall off. It's like that. Oh? Yep. Okay, so.
I'm not sure I understand any of that, you guys.
We have a little something to announce, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I missed that subheader. You guys, Predator Eyes of the Demon. You can find this. Links to order at scottsigler.com/book. Get to the pre-order. Get to the pre-order. That was my play on words I came up with on Twitter today. I'm Twitter famous now because get to the pre-order. Almost 2 people liked it. It's great. This is coming out. My story is called Dead Man's Switch. I'm not supposed to say the name of the story.
There you did. You just did.
I know I'm not supposed to, but it was already on the webpage, so I figure if they haven't seen it on the webpage, they're also probably not watching my live stream. So therefore, it's going to be okay. There we go. Let's get, how do I get that up?
So we have talked about this for ages, you guys, and you've been so patient, kind of wanting information about the Predator anthology. This is it. We just got approved today to talk about it. We know and love Brian Thomas Schmidt. We've worked with him for ages. He's such a great anthology editor for Scott. And so this is meant to be out in 2022. It's one of several things that Scott will put out in 2022.
June 21st, I think.
And if you have not read Bug Hunt in what is the name of the anthology?
The anthology is called Aliens Bug Hunt.
Okay. So if you haven't read Scott's story in that, that's also edited by Brian Thomas Schmidt. He's a great, great editor, a good writer, a great guy. Like, go ahead and read that if you haven't read this, because this is going to be a lot like that. And Brian has been literally shepherding this through the pandemic to get it out, and now we have a release date.
Let me get rid of the Predator. Let me walk you guys through it. So here's the deal. Here are all the Alien/Predator stories I've done. Again, these are at scottsligler.com/books. And there are, if you click through to a page, there's links to buy anything if you want to buy it. First one was Aliens Bug Hunt. That contained my story, Dangerous Prey. The first ever official alien story told from the point of view of the actual xenomorphs.
And a canon story.
That's mine. You can't take it away from me. Not ever, not never. Then came Aliens Phalanx, which is here. Then came Aliens versus Predator, A Tale of Adagina. This is Aliens and Predator and a sequel to Phalanx. That's out March 1st. And now the last one I probably will ever do, Predator Eyes of a Demon, due out June. I got to fix this, but due out June something and change. And here, I can tell you right here. So there you go. These are not, the Adagina stories are connected. The other ones are not connected. This one is much more old school, blood, bone, and guts, man. It gets nasty. It gets super nasty. I try to do something different. I always try to do something different so it's not just the usual Predator kills 4 of my mates, I kill the Predator, end of story. Try and do something a little bit different, see how it goes. Thank you, Brian. I love Bug Hunt, too. Mm-hmm. Bug Hunt is... I'm old now, you guys. I'm old. And I'm officially at the point where I've started to... certain things I write, like, here's a short story and it settles in this bracket, and, like, I am now satisfied with that. I have done that to the best I can do it. I think it's a good story. I may now move on from this, this buzzing in the back of my head all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what Dangerous Prey was. I got to write the story I'd always wanted to read. I got to write the movie I'd always wanted to see. I want to see people go way deeper in the science of the xenomorphs. I got to do that. I got to consult with brilliant people to establish the science.
And of course, and Fox Studios.
Fox will brush it aside at some point. But for a brief point in time, I had figured out parts of the xenomorph science that no one had ever established before, and I'm very happy about that. All right. Yeah. All right. No, we got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm not done yet. Hold on. We got the good stuff. Some smashed pistachios in my mouth, into my gob. Oh. Sorry. I mean, I'm not a capitalist, you guys. All I'm saying... What? It's not store? Does that not work?
Shop.
Did we get rid of the store redirect? What? Oh, it redirect. You son of... You slow internet. I will smack you in your mouth.
Hi, Danny.
I just want to remind you, the None More Black Friday sale, which is run through, is it all of December?
It was supposed to be all of December. We actually, we're choosing to end it at the end of January because we have one case of Ancestors left. So if you've been waffling, we bought a whole bunch of Ancestors when they were putting out the paperback and taking away the hardcover, and now they're mostly done. So if you want those, we have about 20 left.
Yes,
and
so
you should order it.
We have to remind you, we haven't mentioned this a couple of weeks, this is the last week of the sale. The sale will be gone on January 31st. You can see we've got hardcovers of A Light, Ancestor, and Pandemic, signed by the author, shipped by us, all on sale for $15. If you're not in the US of A, you'll have to see what the shipping will be. It will not be pretty. It will not be pretty.
But you can't, it'll be the cheapest version you can get a hardcover as well. And I will, you okay?
I just smashed the scotch against the microphone.
I will also
that's how
say
rock
this.
I am.
There are less than 15 copies of the hardcover for the Champion left.
This is the prettiest book right here. That's the pretty. In hardcover, this one is just a perfect package. So, want to let you guys know about that. We'll go back to Maine. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. All right, did Story Smack, books, None More Black Friday. Here we go, you guys. It is alive. Alive. I think I got to go back to the books.
You guys, Scott did a
Tab.
big thing. A big thing.
Hold on now. Get rid of that. And we got to talk about it's not here yet.
That's where it started.
And this will not be the cover.
At all.
But for those of you who have been with us for a while, and or those of you who have sought out every last scrumptious morsel of my brain to consume and pass judgment on, some are great, some are only a little great. I get you. It's okay. Those of you who have gone out and looked for all this stuff have probably come across a little something we like to call the CRYPT on the PUV James Keeling, where the only way out is... Don't say anything, baby. Hold on. Quiet on a set. Welcome to the PUV James Keeling, where the only way out is to die. Oh, I didn't have a repeat. It's an echo, not a repeat. Anyways.
Spike,
so,
we're done eating on camera.
Are we?
For today.
Shoot. Is it bothering Spike?
It is.
What?
Yeah, I know. He says,
Spike,
I love
we
you.
win Emmys for eating on camera.
We don't, actually. It's terrible.
I've got a bunch. I keep secrets from my wife. 7 Emmys. Haven't told her yet. This book will be out. It is published by a company called Athon Books. And let's see. So the guys at Athon are, let's call it the opposite of the big 4 or big 5 publishers. And I've published with those people several times. The Infected Trilogy, Earthcore, Ancestor, the Generations Trilogy. So that's 8 books we put out with Big Publishing. And they're slow. Big Publishing is that they're methodical. They do a specific job. They do it very well. But the roots of that job are set down in a foundation that was put in place 100 years ago, 80 years ago at best. All of the processes of that Big Publishing has are all circumspect and leaving a lot of gaps when it comes to applying what they do to technology, particularly speed to market. So Athon Books is kind of a digital-only operation. They're very good. We're going to give you some information on them right now. They're very, very good at marketing ebooks, which is sort of their sweet spot. And they know how to get, let's get rid of the CRYPT. Boom, boom. This is their site, athonbooks.com. And I'll be honest, I've not consumed an enormous amount of the stuff they have here, but we know the guys.
I've read at least 3 of their books, and I enjoyed them all.
And they're very good. Little things like when you put out 5 ebooks, like this person here, and you go, look at this, they know how to instantly go, okay, well, now it's a boxed set ebook. They will market that in a different way. They'll put that out on Amazon. What they're very good at is understanding the algorithm, understanding how people buy books. And it's almost... I'd say parasitical is the wrong word, but let me break this down for you.
Yeah, it's New World Order, though.
But
that's what you're trying to say.
What it is Amazon and Audible, which are the same company, have gone through all of the work to analyze how you buy things, what kind of stuff you like, what you review that you bought this, you like this, you read it in this amount of time. That means you blazed through it. You've read this many by the same author. It's a huge amount of information. A lot of it's somewhat invasive, but it's still, there's nothing you can do about it. So Athon is like they come in and like glom on top of that data. So here's the giant amorphous turtle. Wait, who holds up the turtle? The hippo, or does the hippo turtle up the turtle? You know, that whole, the world thing?
Atlas holds up.
That's Atlas. There's a turtle involved. So here's this monster that is Amazon collecting all this information, and Athon kind of comes in and flits in the top and tries to understand how all that information works. How do you trigger it? How do you manipulate it? How do you get a book people will love in front of the people who will love that book? That is the baseline of book marketing. How do I find people who will love this book and let them know that this book exists? It's not trickery. It's not manipulation. It's like, I know you'll dig this, but you won't dig it if you don't hear about it. So that's what Athon does. So we'll go back to the books tab. So that we're very thrilled about this. We think they'll be great. It is. Let's get rid of this. We got more to talk about here. Sorry, we're going to talk about this a little bit. I've been waiting for this for a while, you guys. Bear with me. I didn't put up a button for the upper left. There we go. The CRYPT was originally planned as a 3-book series. The turtle holds up the elephants. Thank you, Maria.
It was turtles all the
so
way down.
that means that Athon is an elephant with claw feet sunk into the back of the turtle that is One of them's holding up the world. I'm not sure. I don't know how breaks happen. There will be five books in the CRYPT series. My first draft for CRYPT Book 1 is due on June something. June 1st. There's a day in June in which my work is due. I will try to meet that as best I can. But if I'm able to meet that deadline, I think Athon would like to have the book 1 of the CRYPT out by the end of 2022 or early 2023. That is my best guess.
Agree.
But they've got an enormous amount of work to do on their end. We are still working out the audiobook details. It's going to be a different deal for us. It's going to be a big deal for us. It's going to put a little bread and butter on the table. We don't know if it'll be podcast.
Yeah.
So we are going to that right now. So I already know the original concept for the 3-book series of the CRYPT, not counting book 0, which you guys may have all heard, CRYPT Crew Stories. That was not book 1. So I originally basically had a 4-book arc planned. Now it is a 5-book arc, so it's not that different. But at the end of book 1 and book 2, I'm going after kind of that crazy Twin Peaks / Battlestar Galactica approach, where you get a lot of resolution at the end of those books, but there is something staggering and dramatic and story-changing, character-changing about the end of that book, which will grab you by the short and curlies and drag you into the next book. That is very much planned. Go ahead, babe.
Now, several of you are asking who will read the audiobook. As you heard Scott just say, we are still working on the audiobook deal. We have a very precise and specific need for those audiobooks that will ensure our future. And so either somebody can meet those needs or we'll do it ourselves. And if we do it ourselves, our hope is that Ray Porter does that. That said, if somebody buys the audiobook, they meet those needs. One of the things we're requesting is that Ray Porter still do the audiobook for that. I know a lot of people want Scott to do them, but the reality is this timing of getting all these books written doesn't allow a 3-month break.
I got no time.
If we have another option. So even right now,
Nico, the answer is no. I'll answer Nico. Continue.
Right now, the plan is if we keep the audiobook rights or if we sell the audiobook rights, the right answer so that you actually get the CRYPT in a reasonable amount of time, and you've already waited 13 years for it, you guys, is to have Ray Porter read it if we have that option.
Well,
and if somebody buys it, then they will choose who does that.
You're like this over here.
So the real answer that I want to let you guys know now is our plan is not for Scott to read it because Scott has too much writing to do that you haven't heard about the CRYPT. So that's our plan.
I will say that there's literally no way in hell I'm going to read these books. I don't have the time. It would take forever. Reading the books takes me a completely different place than writing the books. It's not my business. I'm getting out of it. We're going to have an A-list audiobook talent reading these books. As A said, if we have our druthers, we know who it will be. We've also got a couple other people we think would just be peachy, super
There
peachy.
are tons of people who would be great.
Amazing. And I don't
None of them are Scott Sigler.
I don't give an F about gender, who reads it, what the voice is like. The right person to read this will be we know at least 2 people who are right to read it, and there will probably be more. But once we get this done, this will be available as an ebook, for sure as an audiobook, one way or another. It'll be available in paperback, and it'll be available in hardcover. I've shown this before. This is one of the services that they use over there at, what's the name of it again?
Ingram.
No. The
Ingram Spark,
guy
right?
who bought her books.
Athon.
Athon. At Athon. Like, this is dope. This is sick. And I showed you guys for technology has come so friggin' far. So this, with this gorgeous
Well, and that's
matte
important to
cover,
show, actually. This is the dust jacket.
That's the dust jacket.
But look.
And then, like, it's going to be tricked out hardcover. You're going to get to store it any way you want. We are already talking to a certain someone who's worked with us in the past about coming up with cover art for it. We try to be very loyal here at Empty Set. Those of you who did a nice thing for us, we're going to try and do a nice thing for you. It's not a quid pro quo, but, it still works out. And the gentleman who designed the CRYPT that some of you have seen, not all of you have seen, the whole ship is designed. It's friggin' gorgeous. It is absolutely my personality, my writing style. It's very different. It's very bumps and all, and we're trying to get that person to do the cover, which we're going to push really hard for. But caveat, a cover artist does a different job than other artists who all do different jobs.
Agreed.
So you can be the most whoop-ass artist in the world. If you go to do a book cover, it might not work out with your skill set. That's just the way it goes. So, but we're going to try real hard to get that person to do it, because I would love to have the guy who designed it for us, who won the contest for what the crypt looks like way back when. We really want him to have his moment to shine and have his cover, have his ship on a book.
And so far, we've been. I'm not going to name him right now because we don't have any deals in place. But we're already communicating, and it's going very well. So it's very, very nice that we are. I believe that we have.
Mike. I say, hey, Mike.
Oh, I believe that we are making a deal with people who feel and smell and look a lot like us, kind of. And I'm really excited about that because they're like, hey, come on in. Let's talk about it with
Brian,
everything, which is
Spike,
very, very nice.
Spike Pondy will, maybe, we don't know. We're with a publisher, with a different publisher now. Well, maybe Pondy takes an art image and then designs the cover around it. So all the incredible covers you've seen, if it's an actual photorealistic or real thing, like for we keep his skill set applied specifically to the GFL hardcovers, because we don't want everything else to look like those. We want those to be their own special thing.
Agreed.
But we'll see if he has his hands in it, but these guys do their own thing. So a lot of it is up to them. But a lot of the reason A and I are doing this is we work all week long. We work a lot of hours, and I feel I've reached a point in my writing skill where I'm just starting to like be able to see the summit of the skill I'll be able to bring to telling you guys a story. I'm only just now starting to understand the stuff I still need to get better at to be as good as I can be. And when I'm focusing on that, I'm getting better at delivering the thing I'm good at, which is telling you guys stories. When I'm doing all the marketing and working with the cover design and working on the website and doing and all that stuff, that is not stuff that is syncopata with the creative part and the blue collar ethic and getting under the hood and doing the wrench time to make myself a better writer. So we decided specifically to go with Athon because they can do all of this, and then it's up to them to decide who they hire, because we are selling this book to them. There we go.
And I will say this. I am a human being. I am one of you guys. I am exactly this junkie that loves Scott reading his own work. I honestly am. I am. Done. I'm done. That's me. I am also the person in the business sense that knows that he can publish half of what he could publish if he records everything he publishes. And I also, as a business person, sort of know that recording half is not going to let him keep his day job. Like, that's not how this business works anymore.
I think I could do a good job. I would love to read it. I would love to read it. I'd have so much fun reading this. It would be so great. But reading 100,000 word book is basically 2 weeks. 2 weeks when I'm not writing. Yeah,
and then punch-ins. Steve, let me know. I think it's 2 weeks of punch-ins at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of work that we don't have time for in the New World Order. If we want to keep hustling and keep being able to do this, this sort of work where we keep in touch with you guys and we all get through this together.
This is fun.
We have to sort of shift some things around. So almost assuredly, here's the empty set plan. I haven't talked to you about this, but I feel like it's safe to say.
Let me say, hold that thought. So 5 books, at least 2 weeks each. That's 10 weeks. That's 2.5 months. Frankly, that's a whole nother book, and I'm not good at what I'm doing for you as I'm doing all these things. Go ahead, babe.
What I was going to say is there's no chance that Scott writing, then narrating all of his work will get you the most Scott stories that you can have. And it won't get you the crypt in the next decade, I'll be honest. That's not the way we work. That's not the way he works. You know this. You heard the crypt 13 years ago, and now you're like, I want more crypt.
Point. I've been working on getting this book out for 13 years. That's possibly because I'm doing a whole bunch of different things pretty well. So, but we're super excited about this. I think we.
So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have somebody else record that. I will say, this is the promise I was going to make before he wanted to do his own thing. If there's a GFL story, our plan is for Scott to record it. So this is the caveat. This is the work around, the work with that we're promising you guys. Scott will finish the GFL stories as his own.
Yep.
And then almost assuredly we'll never read another Scott Sigler story for you. That's the plan. So if we can get along with that, that would be great. We're still going to get all the GFL stories. He's going to finish the whole thing. He's got a plan for that. But in an effort to give him time and money and rent checks and all that to do that, we're going to let Ray Porter and Atheon do the crypt because that's the better
Is
idea.
it Atheon or is it Aethon? A-E-T-H.
A-E-T-H.
Is it A-T-H-E-O-N?
I have no idea.
Let's go to the tape. Aethon. I've been wondering about that. All right, come back to me.
Yeah, might be Athon. Yeah, probably
All right,
Athon.
so-
if you haven't read Athon's book Vicarious, though, read it. I loved it.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our news for the crypt. Like I said, 5 books working in the audiobook deal. We're excited to be working with the guys at Aethon. Frankly, they remind me a lot of me, the 15 years ago me.
Yep, for
That
sure.
was
And
just-
they really do.
Just scrapping and banging and hustling and like we're gonna figure out how to do this. We're gonna figure out. Everybody says this can't be done. Screw all those guys. We're gonna find a way to solve this puzzle that nobody's ever done it before. That is what they are doing. They bring an enormous amount of business acumen to the table that frankly, we've tried to do it. We just don't have it. Maybe if we were focused on it all the time, we could do it. We don't got it. These guys got it. So we're very excited. The end goal at all times is I would like to get my stank sprayed upon more and more people. That's what we would like to do.
Right.
And I've reached my maximum spray distance. My spray radius is maximized. So now we want to find someone who can increase the radius of the spray, and we hopefully get some more people, sprayed up. Hook them up.
Hopefully. Yeah. So Chris Casey. Yeah. So I believe the waiting starts for real this time
No, for real.
because we signed a contract.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're going to have crypt in 2022, or we're
Yeah, yeah.
not going to be
And
happy people.
I don't think it's telling tales out of school to say there was a gentleman in a fedora at the signing with a baseball bat, just real slow, tapping his hand, not slapping it, just boop, boop, boop. And then he said after he signed, like, it'd be a real shame if that contract deadline didn't get met. And I was like, I think we need to meet that deadline because I don't want the
Your
gentleman to
colleague
bat.
says that isn't a necessary metaphor.
Which is?
I'm not sure which. But
But you know what? We've got things to say to my colleague. We're going to move on right now. I got some issues. Someone's been put on notice. We have some issues. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, can you keep an eye on this for questions about the crypt?
yes.
Doug, real short, Crypt 5-book series, sold to Aethon Books, print, paperback, hardcover, audiobook, ebook. It's going to be great. My first draft is due June 1st. Hopefully it'll work out. Let's talk about pets for a minute. Just a minute, just a minute of pets. It's no big
Should
deal.
you talk about how the crypt that people have heard
Oh,
will work in
yes.
the New World Order?
Maria gets a reprieve.
A
Let's go back. A reprieve. So we'll leave chat up while we're doing this. If you see any questions, write them. The usual. Write them.
I'll
So going back to
screenshot 'em.
Maine. So y'all heard the Crypt Book 0. These were called crew stories, and I often describe it as a reverse Lost, TV show Lost, which is dead to me, but influenced me when I was writing the Crypt. So in Lost, you wind up with all of these jabronis on an island, and you don't know who the jabronis are, if they're telling the truth or not, or how they got there. And then gradually, as the relationships build and the betrayals flourish and giant feet are found, you start to look around and you start to get, well, how did all these people wind up on the island? And you get the whole thing together. Cats and dogs living together, general pandemonium. It's insanity. The Crypt, what you heard was the exact opposite of that, where you get to hear where everybody's going to the island, but you never see the island. You don't know what the island is. And the people who are going to the island don't know what the island is. So you heard a bunch of fun stories that were all in the periphery of the PUV James Keeling. I did at one point write 2 episodes, a book 1 shakedown, book 2 shakedown, book one. And I think I podcasted them, but I'm not entirely sure, but it's hopefully
Shakedown
gone up.
was 2, right?
Shakedown was 2. So that is what we have. Now, an enormous amount of that, all those crew stories, the Washington, D.C., the tank, all of that stuff is going to show up in the Crypt series, but be spaced out. Because the goal is, I want to get you onto the ship much, much, much faster. Captain Travis Ellis, you will join him in his journey that takes him to the crypt, which would be very similar to what you've already heard. And then we're going to be on the crypt right out of the gate. Chapter 2, Chapter 3, we're starting to get a look at this crazy ass ship, and I'll start to tease you with all of the mysteries that the ship entails. And there are a lot of mysteries. I will say that this is going to be far future sci-fi. It is going to be hard science as much as I can make hard science bend to the will of a really good thriller-based story. And it is going to get into some crazy metaphysical horror, some batshit crazy Stephen King stuff. It's going to be all over the place. So I'm pretty pumped. So I call this military SF horror. You'll be on the first cruise of the ship on book 1, and that is where we will begin. Did I answer your question?
I think you did. Okay. I think you did. Yeah. So, listen, Chris, you ask a good question. There's a few things that we have to talk about. So I will tell you a few sort of behind the scenes things. These were work for hire stories, and back in 2012, we bought all of these outright as work for hire stories. Work for hire stories don't change the IP of that. So the nice thing about this is so many people who are part of the podcast community will be part of this audiobook. But the reality is that our new partners will have to appreciate and understand the story as it is. So it is entirely possible that not everything you've heard in the crypt will make it into the crypt that gets published on Audible, because we have new partners, and the world is a lot different than it was a decade ago. So we'll sort of see. And we haven't even started that yet, because Scott's goal right now is to finish GFL Book 7 before Valentine's Day. That's our current goal. He hopes to do it by the end of January. That's his actual goal. But our timeline goal says he has to finish that by mid-February. So I think both of those are true. He's focusing on that, so he hasn't actually looked at that. And we don't actually know that. The hope is that we sprinkle all those stories and all those other creators' really beautiful kind of character notes throughout the first couple, 2-3 books, but we're not sure yet. We have to do that with our new partners.
Yep. Okay. Anything else, baby?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on to Maine, and let's go to
I love Kim's Convenience too.
Let's go pup dates. That on your bottom right, that is my dog Reese with an extreme close up of her graying snoot, and that is that. And nothing sums up that your dog's getting older than a picture like that right there.
She's the best.
My sweet girl is getting older. I'm sure she'll be with us for a couple more years, but of course, in my fatalistic head, she's on borrowed time right now. In my head, that dog is on borrowed time. Borrowed time. And then the big pup picture, ladies and gentlemen, we have. Oh, we're crazy about our dogs. We love our dogs. They're great.
Oh, that's a long time ago. Not too much white on Reese's snoot, and no white really.
Look at their beady black eyes, made of evil. So great. Mm-hmm. All right, now we move on to what I call the pup show, which is the pictures of other people's dogs
or animals in general. So you guys,
ladies and gentlemen, let's discuss this photo. Let us discuss this photo.
This is my sweet friend Fenrir. Fenrir got all dressed up for Christmas in his little plaid Scotty outfit. He is the most beautiful, most grumpy
Fenrir wishing for the heat death of the universe to hurry up and arrive because he no longer has the will to live. In this picture,
look at how happy he looks.
Wait, that dog looks happy to you? That dog's literally saying, if I had thumbs, I would stab you in the jugular. I would take your life and your soul and sell it on a black market Satan sidewalk sale. That is what I would do. How dare you put this dog in this outfit? It's not even a Scottish dog, for Christ's sakes.
Here's the thing. Scott's not wrong, except we personally know Fenrir. And Fenrir hates this outfit.
He hates it.
Well, that's because his baseline approach to the entire universe is kind of crabbiness as a baseline. Like, he's a beautiful, grumpy old man. He's smart, he's clever, he knows exactly how to get what he wants from the people around him. And he almost always gets what he wants from the people around him. So what I will say is you are correct about everything you just said, except Fenrir allowed the coat because it helped his goals.
I'm going to have to. You know what? I'm going to have to. We're going to get serious about this. You ready? King DeSouza's You Are on Notice. You are being watched. We'll be keeping an eye on you. You're on notice for treating your dog abhorrently, horribly, difficultly, and being generally churlish with your dog outfits.
Fenrir, ask for more Treatos. You'll
Churlish.
He's the sweetest.
All right.
I have another photo to
going
share
back?
with you guys of another dog I personally know who I love to death. Okay, these are both holiday photos. These are both dogs we know in person who are
God.
beautiful dogs. This is Indiana Bones Watson. Indiana Bones, you guys. Come on. And this was his Christmas photo, and it is beautiful. And of course, Fenrir, that wasn't his official Christmas photo, but obviously he was dressed like a little Christmas pup. These are both beautiful reminders that if you...
Shut up, goddamn dog sitter. Dog outfits do not rule. Shut up. I think this
If
picture...
you are a human being who loves animals, you now have 11, maybe 10 months to plan for your Christmas or New Year's photos.
Do not encourage them to dog
I'm
abuse.
planning my own.
Oh my God. This picture right here,
Look
I
at how
believe
beautiful he is.
not any of the new Colonel Sanders's is, but I
Sanders
believe
is-
if the original Colonel Sanders
Curtis Sanders.
were a dog and put a little bit of flair on that bow tie, this is what Colonel Sanders would look like as a
Okay,
dog.
Indiana
This is it.
Bandana Bones Watson. Yes.
Indiana-
Dr. Daniel Baker, Professor PhD.
Indy
Exactly.
Watson is the dog embodiment of Colonel Sanders himself. Look at this. And if you
He's
offered to
the
sell me
best.
chicken, I would buy it. I'm not going to lie.
He's the best.
I don't like dog costumes, but if a dog in a costume says, you should buy this fried chicken, I'm going to eat that fried chicken. That's the way it's going to go. Yeah.
So next week I'll show you a photo that was taken the last time that Reese saw both of these dogs. But also I have a reminder. And last week we talked about Fanaka and who specifically what
That was supposed to be this whole show.
Well, but it was I only got 4 responses, so I didn't do it.
Let's do it next week.
Yeah,
next
so
week.
next week. So
Hey, Paul.
we're sort of telling you guys that Fanaka in the Stone Wolves is based on a specific human being doing a specific part, and nobody has guessed it right correctly. So if anybody wants to guess again, you haven't heard from me, I haven't told you no, you're wrong, and you want to guess again, you can do that. We only got 4, and they were great, but they were not accurate. So if you want to guess, we're going to talk about next week, we're going to talk about some of the very specific roles that Scott tunes into to create a character kind of button or role from that. So if you want to guess, it's a cash prize. I promised I would pay anybody who got it right $100, and nobody got
$100?
from my own not an empty set account. I'm paying you myself.
God, I thought that was coming out of company money. I was like, hold on.
But only
Hold
4
on.
people answered. So
Jesus.
if you haven't heard back from me, you didn't get it right. If you did hear back from me, you didn't get it right. If you want to guess again before next week, you can guess again.
Melissa is asking if I can do the voice right now. I'll try. But that voice usually took multiple takes on multiple attempts on each segment, with A saying, okay, go ahead and do it this way. I can't have A do it because that will give it away. But I will try and do it again. Ready?
Well, but before you do, I will also say this. He'll do it again, but you should listen to
That's right, X. That's my base money. Yeah.
You should listen to the audiobook because he's going to fudge it after a year of not having done that voice, or 10 months.
Kate, well, let's go back to chat. We've got some questions here. Kate Hargraves Young is asking, can I ask if it's a famous person or a junkie? It is a extremely famous person.
It's a famous person in a specific role.
Who does pretty much one role, pretty much.
I don't think that's
You don't
true.
think so?
No,
Okay.
I think that this specific actor playing a female role has done an enormous amount of very good work. But this is one of her very famous roles.
I will
and I said
say
it was a her. Just
I
there,
will
so.
say, yeah. Well, you just
I did.
You
Yeah,
just
I just
increased our cost of giving away some jabroni $100.
No,
by
it's
like
me.
50%.
It's my own money.
We're
I
married,
am
dude.
giving.
It's California. We got our fingers in each other's pies all the time. Financially.
Nobody's talking about fingers or pies.
Financially.
We're just going to go forward from here, you guys. But yeah, so what I'm
At
saying
least
is
I'm not talking about girth. So there you got that going for you.
This is an actor who you have met and know. You know who this is, and they have a very specific role. And if you guess it, I'll send you 100. The first person to guess it, I'll send $100.
I'll read the first paragraph off the back of Oblivion Awaits in this voice. It's not going to be good, but I'll give him my best shot. The Legacy Hab Astrea orbits high above the Earth in 2251 as a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring mission to settle space. But when researchers in the station's Celestial Exploration Laboratory think they've discovered a signal from an alien species, Astrea suffers a devastating failure. There we go. Wasn't too bad. But remember, the goal is I'm not doing it perfect. I'm doing it to get a different voice out of it. So there you go. Nelson, I don't know who you're finding $1 to, but Dawn, get with the program. Let's go listen to that damn book. Come on, catch up.
Yeah,
we got
love it, Dawn.
We got junky pictures.
We
got junky pictures. I know people have life and things to deal with. I know, whatever.
You got to email us at info@emptyset, but I'll tell you it's not Oprah.
Okay, it's not Oprah, but we need to add Oprah to the lexicon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about our junky pictures. Here we go. And first junky picture is...
First junky picture is, oh my goodness, Katya sent this in. This is actually matted with acid-free museum quality matting and framing with a matte glass frame. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I immediately wrote back and was like, dude, I have to show this. And she was like, absolutely do. This is gorgeous.
Did you say museum quality framing?
Yeah, this is it's museum. It's museum quality, all of the paper and stuff. So, of course, they treated everything so that there won't be any wrinkling or yellowing over time.
I'm verklempt.
I know. And she specifically, when she sent this in, and Katya has been a fan longer than I have. She has been one of the first people to welcome me into Siglerism back in 2007. So forever she's been a junkie, and she sent this saying she's so happy, museum quality matting and framing. Please, please, please send all of my thanks to both Scotts. And she also said thank me and Tori Pond for helping the Scotts get this done, because she understands creativity sometimes.
Let's quick mention this museum quality framing of an idea that germinated in my oversized noggin, was brought to life by none other than John Viscara, continuity czar of the Siglerverse, and Scott E. Pond, designer extraordinaire. The three of us collaborated to make this
for ages.
We spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
And it is quite luscious.
So I
delicious.
really love that Katya let us share this. And if you guys don't have this yet, if you haven't received it, or you bought the book after pre-order and you haven't received it, we're getting all those shipped out in the next couple of weeks. If you ordered it in pre-order and haven't received it, well past due. Just send me an email and I'll submit it for insurance and we'll get you a new one.
All right, let's go to the next one.
This is Dennis Garcia.
That's new ink, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, it is. This is Dennis Garcia. And
I think I've already named Dennis Garcia, haven't I? In a book?
Yes, but I have to
But now he gets a free pass. He gets to name someone else.
And I have
you guys
to
get to know Dennis Garcia.
You
should be Dennis's pal.
It's so lovely. I also emailed Dennis and said, please let me share this. This is obviously his Ioneth Krakens tattoo.
So dope.
I am a big fan. I am also heavily tattooed, or sort of tattooed, and all of my tattoos are black and white. So I appreciate this beautiful black and white treatment. It's lovely. And I asked him, can I please share it on SIGLERinPLACE? And he said, yes, I'm happy for people to see and know about it. My oldest daughter, Sora, who is 12, and I share a love for the GFL series, and my younger daughter, who's 10, says she wants to read it when she just gets a little bit older. My sleeve tattoos are a representation of my kids and their favorite things, so what a better way to show what it means to me.
You guys, Dennis Garcia is in the chat room.
I know.
Give the man a shout out.
Lovely, yeah.
I don't know what emoticon.
You didn't tell me what your younger daughter's name is, but I named Sora because she's such a big fan, just like you are, and we love you both. We love all three of you. But tell me what your younger daughter's name is. You didn't name her.
In the chat room, share an emoticon involving a needle. That could be a hypodermic. That could be a needle. Anything you want. If you like Dennis's tattoo,
or any celebration,
give the man an emoji.
Ari, yes.
Cheers.
So Sora,
whatever
Dennis,
you want.
And
whatever
Ari,
you want.
Enjoy the GFL. Oh, all the way.
Remember the last one?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I saw this And I don't know what's going on here.
You guys, it's the
Except that's
best.
either Tom Cruise or Henry Winkler.
It is
in the bottom
it is
right.
Definitely Henry Winkler.
It's Henry Winkler. Appears to be it could be a Fonzie jacket or a fighter jacket, which is why I was confused.
Who's the young man next to Fonzie?
Don't tell me that is John Viscara.
It is John Viscara. He sent this in December, but I didn't have room for it. He sent this in early in December to say a little bit of Christmas cheer. This is Christmas time, Fort Hood, Texas, 1978, circa 1978. He's rocking his grandma's crocheted slippers. Now, my brother and my mom are in the chat room, and both of them will understand that when we had a Christmas, we absolutely always got oranges in our stocking. And at John's foot there's a tangerine. So I'm in love with it.
Who gives a child an orange for Christmas? You get
We
oranges
got
all the
oranges
time.
and soap in
Did
our
they
stocking.
hate you? You got
No,
soap
in our
too?
stocking. In our yeah, soap's
that your-
like shaped like Snoopy or shaped like.
Oh, so that wasn't Zippy's way of saying, "Honey, I love you. You smell."
Oh no, she would just say
He's a
we
smelly
smelled
kid.
if we were
Okay.
smelly. But this is John appreciating his Christmas time Fonzie record and beautiful orange there. And he said he's rocking his grandma's crocheted slippers, showcasing his new ornament, perhaps, but I think it's an orange. And then also his new copy of Fonzie Favorites. What? I love this so much. I also actually crazy love those glasses. I would like those for myself right now as
Incredible.
a 50-year-old woman, but
Incredible.
you look great.
And as a tribute to my friend John Viscara, since he is showing pictures of him as a wee lad, I just posted something on Instagram at instagram.com/Scott Sigler. Let's go and take a look at that right now. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Oh, here
Turn
we
that
go.
off,
Here
turn
we
that
go.
off. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hi, Tiny.
This is clearly a young man who can deadlift 1,200 pounds and squat
Hi.
895. Look at the pythons on
Hi.
this kid. Look at it's 2 toothpicks and 2 canoes. Look at the size of it.
2 toothpicks.
How does someone with those legs even?
Why did anybody
stand up?
let you in the circle there?
'Cause I was whooping ass, dog.
I feel like you
I
might
was,
have.
I was only up against guys my own size. That's an unfair advantage for me. Unfair advantage for me.
But were there many people here?
Honey, it was junior high. There were at least 4 other people
At
out of
least. Yeah,
3,000
fair,
that were
fair.
my size.
Fair.
So-
this, oh my goodness, you guys.
So to Big John, if you post picture, I'll post picture. This is me. What's amazing about this picture is my very powerful thighs, my quads, are exactly the same diameter as my calves. Exactly. Look at it. It's like this. Somebody photoshopped
Okay,
a
but
kid.
you're like
Let's
8,
take
you're
his.
like 10.
Let's take his knee to his shin, Photoshop it from his knee to his hip. That's what they're like. It's like a trick of light or
And
some
you
shit like
guys,
that.
literally speaking, never once in my elementary school life did my calves and thighs have the same circumference ever once in my life because I was the chubby kid, so he got it going on. But wow, I don't think that has ever happened to me.
Yeah, I was a. X was I put together with Tinker Toys? Yeah, probably, yeah, because I had a lot of Tinker Toys at the time. They were great. Tracy says the jacket is so heavy he can't stand up. Rob Otto, of course, being a classy motherfucker with reverse cankles. Screw you, son of a bitch. I'll pay the $2. I gave him 2 right there. Fuck off. There's 3. What do you think of that? I'll pay the $3 to charity. That's the thing, Reagan. Not only was I very
Hey, Ruthie,
small
nice to see you.
and very small around, I was also very slow. I was the second slowest kid in the football team, and the person who was the slowest kid in the football team was pretty fat. So there was that going for us.
So I know we don't have a picture for this, but we're still doing celebrations with this tiny, that tiny human there.
Let's go. Say this. We're running out of time. Let's do our celebration.
So I do have one other celebration that doesn't have a photo, but I know Vaughn is in the chat room, and it's such a huge deal. So Vaughn wrote in and said, "Hey, Scott and AB, I wanted to share with you a special celebration. They've been looking for work for the last few months and finally started a new job, or will start a new job on Monday. And I know exactly how that works. And I have had several friends over the last couple of years who are looking for the right opportunity and the joy that comes with, oh my goodness, I accepted this and it's my moment and I'm going to try and make this the best that I can. And if not, I'm still glad to be doing something new. I understand that, especially in the last couple of years. So congratulations. It's such a huge deal, and I'm very, very happy for you, and I hope it goes exactly how you want. Congratulations, Vaughn.
Congratulations to gainful employment. That's what Mike in the Mistakes says in the chat room. All right, so we've got 2 minutes for questions. I didn't see any CRYPT questions, but they're all going to get asked. They're all going to get answered. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you guys, if you have CRYPT questions,
you guys,
should.
I will tell you right now, the CRYPT is not YA. If you are offended by swear words, the CRYPT is not for you. If you're like blood and dismemberment squeaks you out, you should go read something else. I'm just going to get that all out of the way right now. I love you. I won't judge, but this one is not for you. This one is going to be this one is going to be rough. It's going to be all the way through rough. It's going to be very difficult. I admit it will be a very difficult book to read. Hopefully it will do okay. Do you even write YA?
I mean, it's a very good. Yeah, congratulations, Vaughn. It's a huge thing, and you worked so hard, and you didn't give up, and it's a very big thing. We're going to ask one question of Scott, and it might even be Ray Guns Rambles.
Let's go.
Do you even write QA? Or do you want a real question?
Yeah, we had one question there. Kim Hansen asked, have I ever written and published something that I wish I could rewrite? The answer is everything, all of it. I wish I could rewrite all of it. I wish there were 7 me's working in collaboration in a sweatshop in the basement of like a Cleveland cotton knitting factory. Like I wish I could.
What about Toledo, Ohio?
Where they make the wobbler knobs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss the Toledo, Ohio wobbler knob factory. Circa 1812, not the remake, the original one. I would like to have a basement there with several me's making stuff better. But you know what? If you want to do this shit for a living, at some point you got to be like, that's pretty goddamn good. It could be perfect, but perfect will never come. Perfect is the enemy of great. Put stuff out, let people enjoy it, go write more stuff. This is how you get to have a sandwich every now and then.
We have three things to say to you. Number one, if you haven't guessed who Fanaka, it's a very specific female
We're not
human.
revealing it right now, though, right?
No, we're not.
Okay.
But if you want to guess who Fanaka is, now you know it's definitely a female. They're definitely playing a role. It's definitely not Oprah. And if you have a guess before next week, you email it to info@emptyset. If you guess correctly and you're the first one to do so, I personally will send you $100 by PayPal.
100.
Yay.
100.
Number two, we have 15 copies of The Champion left. So if you have been waiting, now is your moment. We have about 30 copies of the hardcover Ancestor left. So if you have been waiting, still $15 on our site, go ahead and order that. And last, I will say, next week, we're going to talk about Fanaka. We have actually probably a couple other things. We didn't talk a ton about Predator. If we have any more news about that, we're going to be doing that.
Literally, I can't talk about it. It's the most crazy shit.
Yeah,
in
we're
the world.
hoping for a little more info. But if you see that out there, yes, he's doing it. Yes, we're excited about it. Yes, we've been waiting a long time to tell you guys about it. If you have any questions, you can email us info@emptyset. I'm not so sure how much we're going to be able to tell you.
All right. Let's do one more question, then we'll tap on out.
Well, yeah, we were actually, okay.
You got a third thing?
Those were the 3 things, and then we were done.
Let's do one question.
Okay.
Got one question from the list. We get email a lot of stuff. I'll make sure I get to it.
Sean Dyer, who's in the chat room now, but a while ago, asked, have we met any of Quentin's ancestors in the present day novels?
Ooh, snap. That's good, man.
I don't know the answer to this, so...
The answer is, I wish I thought of that shit. That is your answer, sir. It would be, we're talking about 600 years. You figure, even with the declining reproduction rates, you still got to procreate. Every generation's roughly, 28 to 35 years at this point. That's super slowed down. That's not counting for any kind of cataclysmic disaster which regresses our technology level. That's not counting people moving out to, other planets, colonizing where reproductive rates, or at least frequency, goes up dramatically. Survival rates may go down because people move into a space and want to reproduce, fill that space. So let's go with 25 years.
Okay.
Let's go 25 years. I think that's reasonable. So you're talking about 25 years, 600 years. That's 4 times. That's 6 times 4. What's 6? 24. 24 generations. You're talking at least 24 generations separating the modern day books from the GFL era, the rookie era GFL. 24 generations is pretty hard to track. Try and just, you know what, you guys, here's your homework assignment. Get done with this, get yourself a cool beverage, sit down, grab a note card, notepad, computer, whatever you want, and try and figure out how far back 24 generations would be for you. It's a long time. I mean, we're literally talking about chariots and, stabbing people with spears and shit. It's a ways back. So now we'd be talking about our ancestors from 600 years ago would be the 1500s. Talk about your ancestors from the 1500s. Do any of you know your ancestors are in the 1500s? I doubt it. Liars. So that is my answer. You're all liars, and that is my answer.
So we will definitely be back next week. We are coming back to you next Wednesday. And although we love to always be eating on camera, obviously, sometimes people don't like it. Spike didn't like it tonight. But next week, we won't have to do this, although we kind of do, because next week is Groundhog's Day. And
are we eating groundhog?
No, but I am going to show you the celebration that I did for the last 2 years of high school, because I had a friend who wanted to make Groundhog's Day a thing. And there's food involved.
So there's a story? Back. All right, come back. Sorry, Spike, we'll be eating on camera. If it gross you out, you can let us know. We'll move it off to the side. Yeah. All right, so we will be back on Wednesday, February 2nd, when we celebrate
Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog's Day.
And until then, as you guys know, we want you to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
We absolutely need you to stay safe.
And for the love of science, stay informed. The loose stool tripe that is splattering about the internet over the past week is just so insane. It's now so insane that we now have people saying that vaccines don't work at all and actually kill people. It's mind-boggling how desperate people are for clicks and money to completely throw centuries of science, centuries of proven, documented science that have improved our culture, every culture, expanded lifespans, throw it all in the crapper so that they can get a few more views. It's staggering. I don't understand it. Why would you want to kill the people who like you? I don't get it. But that's not us. That's okay. That's not you.
And not only that, you want to see my Groundhog's Day cake.
So stay informed. That was the long-winded way of saying stay the fuck informed. You know what I'm saying?
Now we're going to go to your camera, which we never use.
Hello.
And then we're going to kiss off into the
That's
sky.
just because you're better looking than me. That's the only reason we use the other camera. It's not my fault.
We got to do what we got to do. He can write. I can look.
You can. All right, you guys. You may all now kiss off into the sky.